The phone rang just past noon, slicing through the quiet hum of the refrigerator and the faint tick of the clock on the kitchen wall. Lira had been polishing the silver teapot, her late husband's favorite, when she saw her son's name flash on the screen, Max. Her heart lifted, as it always did. She wiped her hands on a towel and answered, her voice warm. "Max, I was just thinking of you. Have you two decided on a wedding date yet?" But before Max could answer, she heard another voice in the background. Cool, steady, almost rehearsed. "Oh, we already got married yesterday," Lena said. "We only invited special people." The words slid out smooth and cold, like the edge of a blade. Lira froze, her mind trying to translate what her heart had already understood. Already married. Only special people. She looked around her quiet living room, the faded curtains, the half-knitted blanket, the framed photo of Max as a boy with ice cream dripping down his chin. 3 years of sacrifice, of covering rent payments, buying their furniture, filling their fridge when they had nothing. All of it suddenly felt absurd, like she'd been financing a dream she was never meant to belong to. Lira steadied her voice. "Oh," she said softly, "I see. Congratulations." She could hear Max sigh, but he didn't speak. The silence between them felt like a wall, something heavy and permanent. When the call ended, she stood there for a long moment, phone still in hand, as if waiting for it to ring again and undo what had just happened. But it didn't. The pink dress she'd bought for the wedding hung in her closet, untouched. She'd even chosen new shoes, pale cream with soft satin bows. She imagined herself in those shoes now, standing outside a church door that had been locked just before she arrived. That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept scrolling through social media, and there it was. Lena's white dress, Lena's family smiling, champagne glasses raised. Max stood beside her, eyes down, smile thin. Lira's heart tightened, not with anger, but with something deeper. The kind of ache that only mothers know. The slow realization that love doesn't always earn you a seat at the table. The next morning, she deleted the photos from her phone, but couldn't stop seeing them in her mind. She told herself it didn't matter, that maybe it was for the best. But when she passed by the framed photo of Max as a child, holding her hand on his first day of school, she felt something break. Not loudly, but quietly, like a thread snapping under too much weight. A week passed in silence. Then, one morning, her phone rang again. The same name appeared, Max. But this time, when she answered, it wasn't Max's voice. It was Lena's. Her tone was different now. Gone was the confidence, the smirk Lira could almost hear the first time. This voice trembled. "Lira," she said, almost whispering, "the rent is overdue. The landlord says he'll evict us if we don't pay this week. I think you forgot the transfer?" Lira didn't answer right away. She could hear the faint sound of traffic on their end, the panic barely hidden under Lena's polite tone. Forgot. As if helping them had been her duty, as if she owed them comfort. Lira took a slow breath. "Lena," she said, voice steady as still water, "didn't you say you only invite special people?" There was a pause, an empty, fragile pause. I don't understand," she stammered. Lira smiled, a small, tired smile. "Then pay your own rent." She ended the call. For the first time in years, her hands didn't shake. The morning sunlight spilled through the kitchen window, catching dust motes that danced lazily in the air. Lira stood at the counter, arms crossed, staring at the pink dress hanging in her closet. She had spent hours imagining herself in it, how she'd laugh with friends, hug her son, and see the joy in his eyes. Instead, the dress now felt like a symbol of everything she had given that had been quietly discarded. Memories pressed in, sharp and unrelenting. The evenings she'd skip dimmers telling herself, it's for them.
The weekend she spent scrubbing their apartment floors, rearranging furniture, making sure the house looked like a home, not a halfway point. The bank transfers, the little cash she'd tucked into envelopes so Lima could have a new coat or Max could pay a utility bill, and all the times she had smiled, laughed, and encouraged them to chase their dreams, while hiding the gnawing fear that one day her love might not be enough.
Now she realized it had never been about love, it had been about control. Lena had drawn the line without care, without conscience, and Max had let it happen. Lyra's thoughts drifted to the phone call from the previous week, the one that had ended with her quiet, cutting line. She could still hear the tremor in Lena's voice, the faltering confidence. She realized something then. Her power wasn't in the money she had given, or the gifts, or the furniture. It was in herself. The realization was painful. Love alone had not protected her. Love alone had not made them grateful. But clarity had. And clarity was a weapon sharper than any check or envelope. Later that afternoon, she called her sister, Diana, in Chicago. Diana had always been her anchor in storms like these, and now she needed to speak the unspeakable. "Diana," Lira began, her voice steady but edged with bitterness. "Max and Lena, they got married without me. They didn't even invite me. And then after all I've done, they had the nerve to call for rent money." Diana gasped. "Lira, I can't believe it. After everything?" "I can," Lira said softly, letting the words hang in the air like smoke. "I knew something like this might happen, but I never imagined it would hurt this much." She paused, thinking of the photos she had seen on social media. The white dress, the champagne, Lena's smiling family. She felt her chest tighten, a combination of grief and fury, the kind that leaves you hollow yet resolute at the same time. Her phone buzzed again. A text from Max. "Mom, we didn't mean to hurt you." Lira stared at the words. A small laugh escaped her lips, bitter and sharp. "Didn't mean to hurt me." She remembered the nights she had sat awake worrying if they had eaten enough, if the heat was on in winter, if Max was stressed about his job, or Lena about her studies. She had done everything a mother could do. And now she was just a reminder of obligations they didn't want to acknowledge. She typed back a single word, "special," then deleted it. Instead, she picked up her cup of tea, took a sip, and let the warmth seep into her hands. It was a small comfort, but it reminded her of something crucial. She was still here. She had survived the betrayal. She had survived the hurt, and she would not be silenced or diminished by someone else's arrogance. Evening came. Lira walked through her garden, brushing her fingers along the roses. The petals were soft, delicate, yet stubborn enough to bloom even in the shadows. She thought of herself like that, 58, weathered, but still standing, still blooming. Somewhere across town, Lena was panicking. The overdue rent notice had arrived, and suddenly the world that had seemed so controlled and certain began to crack. Lira could almost hear the frantic pacing, the whispered pleas to Max, the frantic fingers on a keyboard trying to solve a problem that had nothing to do with her, except that it once had. And yet, she did nothing. Not yet. She had waited years for respect. A week of humility from them wasn't going to hasten her forgiveness. Her phone buzzed again, Lena's voice on the line. This time pleading more openly. "Lira, please, I don't know what to do." Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly, and a calm, icy smile crossed her face. Now they understand. The next morning, sunlight filtered through the sheer curtains, casting long, thin lines across Lyra's living room floor. She sat at the kitchen table, hands wrapped around a steaming mug of coffee,
eyes fixed on the phone in front of her. She could almost feel Lena's desperation on the other end of the line before the call even came. And then it did. "Lira? Please." Lena's voice trembled. The confident arrogance from days ago replaced with raw fear. "We don't know how we'll pay. Max said maybe you could help?" Lira exhaled slowly, letting the words settle. She didn't need to yell. She didn't need to demand. The years of being overlooked, the pink dress she had hung with hope, the countless hours and dollars spent, none of that mattered to them anymore. But what mattered to her was this moment, this quiet reckoning. "Lira," she said, her voice steady, almost serene, "didn't you tell me before that I wasn't invited because I wasn't special?" A pause. I don't understand," she stammered. Lira smiled softly, sipping her coffee. "Then pay your own rent." Silence. She could hear it, each second stretching painfully, filling the empty space between them. Lena's breathing grew shallow, hesitant. For the first time, she felt what Lira had felt for years, the weight of dependence without respect, of entitlement without gratitude. Lira didn't hang up. She simply let the line remain silent, the truth sinking in. Max may have tried to mediate, to soften the blow, but there was nothing he could say now. Their world, built on taking without acknowledgement, had finally met a wall that would not budge. Hours passed. Lira went about her day, watering the plants, tidying the living room, rearranging books on the shelf, but she kept thinking of that smile she had given Max all those years ago, the boy who once held her hand so tightly as they crossed the playground, the boy who now stood silent as the consequences of his choices unfolded. She realized something profound. This wasn't just about money or a wedding or being excluded. It was about dignity. It was about teaching the next generation that respect cannot be bought, that love without acknowledgement is hollow, and that boundaries are not just lines, they are shields that protect the heart. Later that evening, she saw a notification on her phone. A message from Diana. "I'm so proud of you, Lira. You finally put yourself first." Lira smiled, setting her cup down. She looked around her home. The walls she had cleaned, the floors she had scrubbed, the life she had built for herself, independent of the people who tried to take her kindness for granted. For the first time in years, she felt a quiet triumph, not loud, not vengeful, but complete. Somewhere across town, Lena and Max sat in their apartment, arguing in hushed tones, realizing that their mother-in-law, the woman they had once dismissed, had the power to withhold what they had always assumed was theirs. It wasn't rage that fueled them, but disbelief. They had never imagined that Lira would stop bending, stop giving, stop enabling. And yet here she was, unmoved, composed, radiant in her own space, surrounded by memories and treasures that belonged to her alone. Lira took one last glance at the pink dress in the closet. This time, she didn't feel pain. She felt resolve. The dress wasn't a reminder of exclusion. It was a reminder of survival, of love that doesn't demand recognition, but knows its own value. She poured herself another cup of tea, leaned back in her chair, and for the first time in years, let herself breathe without guilt or obligation. She had given enough, loved enough, and now it was time to live for herself. A soft chime on her phone startled her. A text from Max. "Mom, we'll figure it out. Please." Lira read it, then set the phone down without replying. She smiled. Some lessons are learned in silence. Some victories are felt, not announced. And in that quiet, Lira understood she was no longer just a mother. She was a woman who had survived betrayal, heartbreak, and disappointment, and had emerged stronger, wiser, untouchable. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of gold and rose. Lira sipped her tea, letting the colors fill her soul. She didn't need approval, invitations, or thanks. She had herself, and that was more than enough. She whispered softly to the empty room, "I'm the special one, after all." If this story captivated you, please don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned